So, I'm filming a video, but you can kind of see over my shoulder, my husband and my toddler are wrestling on the floor, so it is what it is. So, I've got for you a quick desk and living room tour, which, you know, a lot of people are doing like, here's my studio. Well, it's my living room. So you're going to get a tour of my living room, sans the floor, which is absolutely covered in baby toys. Okay, let me show you my desk setup. So I've got this poster board, which I covered with a varnish, and it's got double-sided tape sticking it down to my desktop so it's not going to come up. And I varnished it so that if I spill something on it, it's not going to ruin it. Now, this only cost me, it was like $1.99 at Hobby Lobby by We Are Memory Keepers, and I think I got it on sale or 40% off, but yeah, it's cheap, but I don't want to have to replace it because up here at the top, it's under things. Anyway, so I've got my computer set up. Oh, it just went to sleep. With my phone. Hold on. Boop. Boop. Okay, there we go. And I moved it, so... Oh no. Alright, so this is my current ghetto setup. So I've got this really, really cheap tripod with this camera thing, which no matter how tight I tighten it, it's kind of still all loosey-goosey. But at least it's there. Alright, it's turning itself down because it's hot. I'll go to sleep. And as you saw on my screen, I'm using the Reflector 3 program, which broadcasts what's on my phone to my computer via AirPlay, because Apple made it so that you can't do it with an HDMI cord. So over here, we've got all my Tria markers. Ooh, look at them all. Most of them don't work. Okay. With the Gryffindor crest. In this one, I've got my Prismacolors. In this one, I've got different, I've got some Prismacolor fine liners, Micron fine liners. I've got some Copic fine liners, and then I've got some brush nibs as well. I just bought my first Tombow brush nibs, so that's exciting. And then you may have picked up a slight hedgehog obsession that I have. So I've got, you know, a hedgehog mom cup and a little hedgehog. It's supposed to be a toothbrush holder, but I've got, you know, stuff in it. And then that is a scrapbook cube, which is underneath of my laser printer. There is a picture of my hubby dressed in steampunk garb. And then up high, I've got, right now that's like my color inspiration for life, which is turquoise and purples, and, yeah. And then I've got, this is a piece of 3D multimedia, mixed media, not multimedia, that I did. I've got my Niffler, and not Hedwig, but, you know, an owl, close enough to Harry Potter. And then one of my other pieces of art, and there should be another piece of art here, but I have it downstairs in a box because I took it to a show with me and it hasn't made it back. So here I've got all my cheap pens. So I've got gel pens that I've probably had since I was in high school, paint markers and chalk markers, skinny, what is that, fine liner, Sharpies, bigger Sharpies, chunky markers, again I've probably had those since high school, some Crayola markers, some felt tip pens, I got some metallic pens, I got regular pens, I got whiteboard pens, I got, what are these? Oh, these are like, okay, so charcoal white, I got some charcoal pencils and some regular pencils in there, and then a pile of books that I want to alter into junk journals. And then over here, I have my little Totoros, which I made out of polymer clay, and it's little paper clips holding up their umbrellas. I had a green paper clip, so that one was easy. And then I've got some Kodamas, which I did not make. I bought those off eBay. And then, yeah, that's my desk. Let's play a game of how many scissors are on Jenny's desk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I have something behind my desk. I thought I saw something moving. This is kind of freaking me out right now. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, it's a lizard! Oh, it's just Tad Cougar. Hi, Tad. Okay, so this is what you see behind me when I do my front-facing videos. And I'll just show you what it is. Okay, so up here is a... Oh, look, you can see me. Hi. Where? There we go. So it's a big clock, a massive clock from Hobby Lobby that didn't have any guts. It was just like there. And then the middle clocks were from Walmart, and I Frankensteined them together, which is so cool. And yes, they do work if I were to actually put batteries in them, but I don't need them to work. And then I've got, you know, hedgehogs, steampunk gears. Up there at the top was one of the first hedgehogs that we had. His name was Ajax, and we did a steampunk photo shoot with him. And he's just chilling in that photo. Let's see, over here, this is a container that should be full of like paints and pigments, but it looks like I've taken most of them out. This should be a box of adhesives. Looks like most of them are in there, and evidently a random chunk of candle wax. Then we've got some alcohol ink washes. So you take shoe leather dye. Hey husband, can you come get the baby for just a second? And rubbing alcohol, 91% rubbing alcohol, and you get these washes, and you can spray them over top of things to age them. Then I've got my spinny caddy, which is up here because my child discovered he could reach it from the which you're making the light flash. On the counter it was, so it's now up here, and it's got all kinds of goodies in there. Look at that. Ooh. Got sculpting stuff and ruling stuff and graphing stuff, and there's some painter's palette knives, a lighter, all kinds of things. Then over here I've got thread for my sewing machine, polymer clay, a monarch butterfly that I found that had passed away, died, yeah. Anyway, so it's there. It's gonna be turned into steampunk art. And then this tub has got embroidery thread and ribbon in it, and my big tripod that I'm trying to figure out how to use. I don't know. And then one thing of drawers that's got washi tape and some scrapbook paper. This one is glitter. Glitter! And then inks for stamping. And then this drawer is full of big toys. Big toys being, I've got my paper shredder in here, but I've got, this is a melt pot that they sold at Hobby Lobby for a little while, and Joann's, I think. I've got a laminator in here with some foil. I've got one die cut machine. I've got a UV light. Boring files. That's literally what it says. And then I've got fabric. This is one of my favorite drawers. Look at the organization. Ooh. So when my husband and I sold hedgehogs, one of the things that you get for your little hedgehog is a snuggle sack or a bonding bag. And so I sewed them, and this is leftover fabric that I need to cut and sew. But it's all, you know, it's sorted. So like these two go together, and these two go together, and these go together. Yeah. Slightly obsessive about my fabric, but back here I've got like Doctor Who, which I'm not going to turn these into snuggle sacks anymore. I don't know what I'm going to do. See, there's some more Doctor Who, some Star Wars. Should make a Doctor Who quilt. And then down the very bottom drawer is just more fabric that's not organized pretty. And then I think this is more organized. Yes, it's more organized fabric. And there's some scrapbook paper, a fashion design notebook that I started in high school. That thing, this thing down here, below the toy, it was once a thing that held like pod coffees in an office, and they didn't want any more, so I snagged it. I've got scrapbook paper, more scrapbook paper, scrapbook adhesives, acrylic paints. That is more scrapbook paper and stickers, crafting inspiration, ribbon, beads, die cut stuff, paper cutter. And in this cabinet, which you cannot open right now, I have it stuck shut so that my child cannot get into it, it's got paints, jewelry baubles, and then it had a bunch of these things, which this one ended up here, but it's a bunch of photos that my child tried to eat, so they're up there. And then over here, these I just got, they were in our hedgehog room and they're out here now. That's not a safe place for them, but they're good for there now because there's nothing in them. And there's jewelry findings in that one. Really toxic chemicals that Bishop shouldn't get to. More beading things. Things for making jewelry. Something called chipboard, which is just little cutouts. A mini canvas I did. Lysol wipes, always good to have. This was a fish tank, but my fish tank is much bigger now. And then a cat tower that I've removed half of the carpet on because they eat it. Tear it up. I also have my welcome to the zoo sign with my hedgehog garland. And then over here I have a shelf full of tiny hedgehogs. Some are ornaments, some are things that people have made for me or given me. And then up here I've got, that's one of my pieces of artwork that is kind of tediously placed up there. It needs to be moved. Some family photos. There you go. Yep, family photos. And then one of the last areas I'm going to show you is right here. This is my like nerddom shelf. And it's got all my Harry Potter stuff. So that's a cup I made on my wheel and used a kiln. It's clay. And then that cup is from Universal Studios. So is the bar of gold. That's from Gringotts. And then this thing. This is really cool. This is a steampunk wand that I made while I was pregnant with Mr. B. I had a costume, and I ended up just being Pregnant McGonagall with a steampunk wand because I had all of this stuff and I didn't have to make anything other than the wand. Yeah, this is Tad Cooper's cage. Tad Cooper is hugging his monkey. That sounds weird. So there you go. That's my area, and we're making the best of it. Things are going to be moving over the next couple weeks. We're staying here, but the furniture's moving because right now our couch, which you can kind of see over there, is underneath of the Welcome to the Zoo sign, and once Baby B is old enough to climb up on the couch, he then can climb up to that banister and fall to, you know, a full story to the main floor. So couch is going to move, which means the bookcases that you got a brief glimpse of are going to move and completely cover up that opening. And the couch will move to the wall with the bookcases. So that'll make it safe so that my baby doesn't plunge to his death. So I'm supposed to get my hair cut, and my mom is the one who cuts it because I was going to Great Clips. And okay, so you see how like it's really long, right? Really long. Like this is in a ponytail and it's this long. But I go in there and it's really busy and I put my name on the list and this girl comes and I say, I just need the sides trimmed, no fades, just all the same length. And I mean, she was going so fast and I felt the clippers jerk on my hair that was up and supposed to be out of the way, and she went, oops, and I was like, oops. Anyway, so she took like a giant chunk out of my hair. It's long enough that some of it, see this right here? Some of it is long enough to get into my ponytail now, but a lot of it is just short. Yeah. So my mom is the one who cuts it now because she's not going to take a giant
gouge out of the side of it, and cut a large section of my very, very long hair off. Yeah, so hopefully tomorrow the stars will align and I'll be able to get my hair cut. Also, pray for my family because my toddler, he's 11 months old. And I guess this is the age that like the terrible twos start, and it goes all the way to like, you know, they start kindergarten, and then I don't know, I guess it just continues until they're like 18. Which I know for me, I was like terrible until I was like 22. So, so yeah, the crying is just continuous, 24/7. Filming any videos, like you're gonna hear it probably in the background because he's just, everything makes him mad right now. But that's my studio tour. I hope it wasn't too distracting. I hope you laughed. How about that? I hope you laughed. If you laughed, would you please share? Please? Anyway, we are getting closer. You saw my camera set up. So we're getting closer to actually filming art on my art channel and not just doing vlogs. But thanks for sticking with me while we're getting to that point. I promise we will do some art. Alright, see you next time.